This movie picks up 6 weeks approximately after the last movie ended. So we're in December. It's Christmas time. The Parton family has just come through a tough spell here. They lost a baby in the last movie. They had their tobacco crop cut in half by a epidemic of hornworms. So they've come through a tough time, and now they're coming into Christmas, and mom and dad just don't have the money to give these kids the Christmas that they want to give them. And Lee in particular feels less than, because he's the provider, he's the man of the house, and can't quite scrape together enough to get everybody what he wants to get them. And so, it's a story about sacrifice, and what are the parents willing to do, Abby Lee and Lee, for their kids, and what are the kids ultimately willing to do so that their mom and dad can have a nice Christmas. In this movie, we pick up Lee as, he's gone to church. He committed to trying to live a Christian life. And now we pick up 6 weeks later. And, I think at one point Lee says to Abby Lee, I don't know what was worse, your daddy hating me or your daddy loving me. Because he's over all the time pouring the Bible into Lee, reading out of the Bible because Lee doesn't read, and giving him coffee. And so, he's getting overwhelmed. Preacher Jake is so happy that his son-in-law is, finally a man of God and going to go to church. So there's a whole sort of conflict between Lee and Abby Lee, where she has Lee calls them nightmares, but Abby Lee calls them visions, and and Jake calls them visions. But Lee just can't quite make that leap that these are visions; they're just nightmares. And so, there's a whole undercurrent of trust, between a husband and wife, and lack of it, and different interpretations of dreams, and things that real couples probably debate and argue about today. But let's just say that at the end of this movie, Lee is not going to doubt Abby Lee anymore, or Jake anymore, because he sees the miracles happen. Jennifer's talent is, so evident and deep, and her work ethic is incredible. And so you put the work ethic and the talent together, and you have Jennifer Nettles. She's so easy to be around and work with. The children, Olivia just lights up a room. Wherever she goes, she makes people smile. The rest of the kids are beautiful too. Well, the Coat of Many Colors, it was a very touching script. Story about losing a baby and family grieving, and something that we could relate to in my family. And so that movie really gave me a way to express a lot of those emotions that I had bottled up for many years, I think. And so that was a really, touching screenplay, and the movie just turned out really touching too. And this movie, it's not as intense as far as the drama. It's got drama, but it's not about losing a baby. This movie makes me laugh more, and I need more humor in my life. I can get pretty serious, and this movie just brings a smile to your face, and it makes you belly laugh. I hope they just look at this movie and they go, you know what? It's a great movie. It's as good as the first one, maybe even better than the first one. I just want people to experience the movie, laugh a little together, maybe be concerned together, shed a tear together, just as a family experience, so that people interact, people spend time together. It's like everybody's so busy on their phones now. Like, this is the kind of movie you can all sit down for 2 hours and enjoy on your couch. Little Stella is the one that kills me, or some of her lines, the little one, Stella. It just makes me roll. And she's got some of the funniest stuff. I think it's important to tell stories about Dolly because she's an American icon and legend. And we all know her as Dolly Parton today. The big hair, the rhinestones, the beautiful woman she is. But where did she come from? Who were the people that influenced her, that raised her, that taught her. You know, that's interesting to me. You know, where does somebody like Dolly Parton come from? The crew on this movie, the production designer, the sets and the art department that they've built are spectacular. I mean, they're so authentic. They look, they feel, they look and feel authentic. I mean, they've done them so well. The costume designer is so talented. The wardrobe that we wear, you know, the DP, the director, everybody that's come together, I mean, has just brought their A game. And, you know, the actors, the screenplay writer, Pam, knocked it out of the park. It's so easy to show up at work, and when you put on the wardrobe and you step onto these sets and you read these words just to sort of, you know, fall into a really good place as an actor. You don't have to like imagine a whole bunch, you know, because a lot of it's there for you. It's created for you. The Parton Farm is a spectacular location. The exterior is amazing. The interior set on the soundstage is beautifully built inside. Mrs. Bass I love her store. You know, it's just got so many cool things to look at, and there's so much detail and nuance, and everything's so perfect and authentic. I mean, they just don't make movies like this anymore for network TV. I mean, this is a unusual production, you know, and that's special. It's special.